Again, guys, keep using hashtag NFL to get your questions here live on the show. Again, that is hashtag NFL. Makes it a heck of a lot easier for producer Alicia behind the scenes to find it. Nick Gilmore wants to know, what are the top 3 Jalen Ramsey landing spots? Okay, might get burnt here quickly if this trade goes down in the near future, so I might look dumb. We have the 5 teams that have been linked to Ramsey so far. If I am power ranking these teams, number 1, Kansas City. Number 2, Philadelphia, because they're super aggressive. Number 3, Tennessee. Number 4, San Francisco. Number 5, Oakland. Apologies and honorable mentions teams like the Patriots and the Baltimore Ravens, who I think would also have some interest there in Jalen Ramsey. Ryan wants to know if the Eagles are going to the playoffs. I do think they get in. I think they make their way to the postseason this year. I don't think they win the NFC. I think the Cowboys will do that. They did potentially suffer a notable tiebreaker scenario because the Falcons might have a wild card matchup with them in terms of like battling for that 5th or 6th spot. But yes, I think the Eagles make it to the NFC East. Vincent wants to know if the Dolphins are the worst team in NFL history. I mean, so far, they've been trash. Actually, I'm sorry. That's an insult to trash. They've been worse than trash. They look completely outmatched. They've traded away almost all of their good players except for Xavier Howard and, yeah, pretty much Xavier Howard. That's all they have. Oh, I guess Christian Wilkins, too, their first-round pick. They don't have anything on this roster. It has been stripped down to the bare bones. Now, maybe they pull an upset somewhere along the way late in the season, but if I'm a betting man, I don't think they're going to win a game this year. I don't see a win on their schedule. Like, maybe I think they play the Bengals this year. I think I'm correct about that. Maybe that's the game, but they're tanking, and that's fine, but they're bad. All right, Hill to the Redskins Lakers. Can the Redskins get Jalen Ramsey, and for what? So I can out-producer Alicia here because it's an NFL show. A Redskins fan. Do you want Jalen Ramsey, producer Alicia? She says sure. I actually wouldn't do it. Not because I don't love Jalen Ramsey. I'm not trading away that first-round pick. It's going to be early. It's probably going to be a top 10 pick. And you have to pay Ramsey. I would rather keep that first-round pick and try and get another offensive player, a Jerry Jeudy, an offensive lineman to help build long-term around Dwayne Haskins. It's going to cost you a first-round pick and then some. So on a pure talent level, yes, of course I have interest, but I don't think it makes enough sense for the Redskins because I don't think they're going to be a playoff team this year. Now, if you disagree with me on any of my takes, well, go make some money since you know so much on BetPSI. Chatsports.com/bet and use promo code NFL120 for a 120% deposit bonus. You put down $50, they're going to give you $60 for free. Put down $100, and they're going to give you $120. All in all, you're making some extra bonus money with BetPSI. So even if you miss some picks, you're still going to have plenty of money left. Chatsports.com/bet, promo code NFL120. All right, Stabby McStab, it's a unique username there, who's also apparently a banana man. If the Dolphins do get the number 1 overall pick, should they go for Tua or stick with Rosen and build around him? I get on my soapbox here. You guys, if you've followed the channel for a long time, you guys know that I liked Josh Rosen a lot coming out. But we also have to evaluate where he is right now. He is now on 2 teams that needed a quarterback help and apparently don't want him because the Dolphins, for some reason, even though I think Rosen has looked better in-game than Fitzpatrick, are not playing Josh Rosen. So there's one of 2 outcomes here. Number 1, Rosen's just not that good. Maybe that's the case here. Option number 2, maybe he's not that good, but he's also not that bad, and the Dolphins coaching staff doesn't actually want Rosen. Maybe the front office did. And the staff's like, you know what? We don't think Rosen's the guy. We want Tua. Don't get caught in no man's land. So at this point, unless the Dolphins give the keys to Josh Rosen like done in week 1, and he really, really impresses, The answer is you take Tua, and I feel bad for Josh Rosen because that's now 2 different spots where he's gone. Terrible situations for him, and he really hasn't had much of a chance. All right, Michael's next up here. Will the Detroit Lions make the playoffs? No, I don't think they will. I mean, you tied the Arizona Cardinals. Like, that's where you're starting off. I wouldn't bank on the Lions making the playoffs this year. Sorry, guys. All right, KOG Nightfall. What are your thoughts on the Patriots possibly going undefeated this season? You just lost Isaiah Wynn. That's a pretty big blow for you. The Patriots will not go undefeated this year. They are a great team. Of course, they destroyed the Dolphins 43-0, beat the crap out of the Steelers, but you still have games against the Browns, against the Ravens, at the Eagles, the Cowboys, the Texans, the Chiefs, all late in the season, all once you get to that late October, November, December range. They'll lose at least one game there, probably 2 or 3. They're still going to be a great team. They're just not going to get defeated this year. Cheese wants to know if I'm related to Robert Downey Jr. Yes, my uncle is Robert Downey. Fun fact there. I'm not sure if everyone knew that, but my uncle is indeed Robert Downey. Don't get to talk to him that much. He's a very busy man. All right, Vincent's next up here. Who are your MVP candidates? Well, I think you got to start with the obvious guys, right? Patrick Mahomes is up there. Lamar Jackson has been incredible. Dak Prescott's been incredible. Those are probably the top 3 right this second. But we'll see how things go. There's an entire 1/8 of a season left for all these players. Or 7/8 of the season left. Inspiring Munoz wants to know if the Raiders will take a quarterback in the 2020 draft. I mean, they explored quarterbacks this year. So at some level, there is a little bit of interest. But I think it all depends on how Derek Carr plays the rest of the year. Inspiring. Check out the Raiders channel. I think it's up. Is it up? 8:30 p.m. tonight. There is a film study I did on Derek Carr for the Raiders channel. So make sure you have that. You're subscribed to that channel there. Inspiring. If he plays okay or worse, and the Raiders are picking in the top 10 again, I think at that point they will consider it. But if he plays well, they'll keep him. He's still cheap, and they can punt another year. And if they really want to, trade down in this year's draft and acquire picks for the 2021 draft and go get Trevor Lawrence potentially. Cristian, again, in your opinion, which is the better team, the Seahawks or the 49ers? Well, I like the offensive play calling a lot more in San Francisco. I like a lot of the young talent on defense as well, but I trust the quarterback play in Seattle more than San Francisco. In the end, I think these teams finish with pretty similar marks. If the Niners get 16 games out of Jimmy Garoppolo, it might end up being that the Niners have the better record. But for now, I'm still going to go with Seattle, but I don't want that to make it seem like I'm discounting San Francisco. I think they will be a playoff threat. A very tough end-of-season schedule for San Francisco. That's going to be the turning point. Chuckie wants to know what I think about the Tom Brady injury. If you missed it, Tom Brady was limited in practice today, Wednesday, because of a calf injury. I'm not concerned. If players are limited on Wednesday, they almost always play on Sunday. Now, the NFL did do away with the probable tag because too many players played, which is stupid because if you're probable, it means you're probably going to play. It's dumb. I hate it, especially for fantasy purposes. But I think he'll play. He might have a questionable tag on Sunday. I'm not concerned about it. All right, duckmash or duckmyash. Oh, I get it now. Okay, that's funny. I get that. All right, can you see the Raiders making the playoffs? I'm not going to totally discount it. I think they'll have a chance. My biggest concern here for Oakland is their schedule the rest of the way. I think they can be a 500 team, which might get close. But at Minnesota, if they win that game, I'll probably change my view a little bit more here. I feel better about the Colts matchup without Andrew Luck, but it's still a road game as well. Home against Chicago, at Green Bay, at Houston, home against Detroit, home against LA, home against Maples. That's going to be a win for sure. At the Jets, at the Chiefs. You still also have the Titans, Jags, Chargers, Broncos. They'll, of course, be the Broncos, I think, as well. But there aren't that many gimme games on the schedule. So even if you win your, what I consider gimme games of home against Cincinnati, home against Jacksonville, maybe you have a gimme game there of 1 point against the Lions or Jets, but that's tough. That's a tough schedule. I think it's far more likely Oakland misses the playoffs at 6-10 or 7-9. All right, guys, let's go play some FanDuel together. Head over to FanDuel.com/chatsports if you like fantasy football, but maybe you had some tough injury luck or didn't draft that well, or heck, even just want to play more of it. Go over to FanDuel. Weekly leagues that reset each week. FanDuel.com/chatsports. You get $20 free with your initial $20 deposit. That's FanDuel.com/chatsports. And if you guys missed anything from today's show, the Jalen Ramsey trade rumor update, that's all coming up right now on Loop.